Okay, so welcome back. We can settle in, and I've just been revisiting. I've picked up again because I had begun reading it, but the Whole Brain Living, Jill Bolte Taylor, which is very good, and started to read about her character fall. So I won't perhaps go into all of the details now, but it's the idea that she sort of splits the brain into 4 characters. And we've got sort of our left thinking brain, our left emotional brain, our right thinking brain, and our right emotional brain. And they all have a role to play. And our left brain side, if you like, is very much tuned into helping us make sense of the world, and in a way it kind of causes a sense of separateness, because it has to make sense of what things are and to help us have a sense of our boundaries, where I end and you begin, for example. However, our right brain is much more in tune with this sense of oneness, connecting us with all consciousness, more of a universality, as if you like. And one thing that caught my attention, which I'll just share with you, is that they studied the brains of monks and nuns and they were looking at what happens in the brain during meditation or prayer. So that when these people felt a connection, or feeling with their eternal God, or feeling at one with the universe, they didn't see a particular a part of the brain light up necessarily, but they saw that the left brain parts, particularly around language, became silent. So our meditation practice can have the ability of opening us up to to be more present in the right brain, and really part of that is coming present, because I suppose our left brain will deal a lot with linear time, past, present and future, making sense of things through language and communication, memories. Whereas with the right brain, everything's kind of blended. We're all merged into one thing. But of course, when we have a sense of that, we can understand why it might be difficult to live in this world if we were completely right brain. So we need a sort of balance between our left and right brains. But I think probably we can all have maybe some sense of being a little bit too left brain sometimes. A little bit too much planning, a little bit too much organising, too many lists. Or is that just me? Lists of things to do. And time, when you have to get things done by. But so coming into the right brain a little bit more, and with our practice, can help balance things out. And actually it can tap into, or help us tap into, that creativity that we all have within us, intuition and inner wisdom, connectedness. all of those yummy things. So the invitation, excuse me, for our practice now is to practice a little open awareness. And so we'll start with focusing our attention, and then we'll expand that attention eventually to sort of open our awareness to everything that's here. So this sense of opening and allowing. And I think this is a really nice practice for linking back to that conversation about managing change. That sense of just allowing things to float in and float out as they do. And our practice of sitting with that helps build our sort of tolerance and resilience. However, at any time, if you feel open awareness feels too much, then just come back to your focus point, okay? But we'll build gradually, and then we'll come back to that focus point. So we'll just sort of see it as a little experiment. We can be playful with this as well. And yeah, with this sense of opening and allowing. So whenever you're ready, if you haven't already, come into a meditation posture that will support you and support your practice. So whether you're seated in a chair, seated on the ground on a cushion, you can always lie down or come into standing. And you can practice here with the eyes closed or holding a soft gaze. And just to begin with here, we'll bring our attention into this sense of grounding. So perhaps beginning with the feet and bringing your attention into the feet. Feeling into the parts of the feet that are connecting with the floor, with the ground. And just inviting the feet to rest with ease. Releasing any tightness or tension in the feet and toes. And feeling that physical contact from the ground, from the earth. Taking a moment to check in with the legs. Just making sure the legs are resting comfortably, that they're not gripping or holding anywhere. Checking in with the seat of the pelvis. Inviting the body to let go a little here, softening and releasing through the muscles. Feeling the weight of the body being supported by the chair or the cushion. And then bringing your attention into the upper body. And if it's accessible to you, sitting tall. Perhaps having a sense of lengthening in the spine. As you do, feeling the flexibility of the spine. As you sit tall, kind of creating space inside the body so that the breath can move freely. Softening through the shoulders. And just inviting the arms and hands to rest easily with the fingers soft and loose. And then checking in with the neck and the head. Checking that they feel balanced. We're not leaning too far forward or too far back or too much to one side. Maybe even imagining a cord or a thread from the crown of the head reaching up to the sky. And maybe taking a couple of deeper breaths here. Supporting the body, helping the body settle and balance. And this in turn will help settle the mind. But if the mind is taking some time to catch up, then that's fine, no worries. As best we can, just seeing if we can allow whatever is here to be here, coming and going. Okay. So then we're going to move on to narrowing the focus of our attention. And in our previous practice, we focused our attention on the solar plexus. So just at the bottom of the rib cage, kind of where the stomach and the liver are. But if for any reason that's you would like to have another focus point, then by all means do. You might like to focus the attention in the nostrils for the breath or the belly, or it could be a part of the body such as the hands or the feet. So finding a focus point or an anchor point. We here, once we have found that, just resting your attention there, noticing the sensations with a gentleness, a curiosity, an openness, a kindness. is helping keep our attention present. So if the mind does wander or we get caught in a story in our thoughts, just recognizing that and then coming back to this anchor point and resting your attention there once more. Just do that for a few moments. Using that anchor point to help keep us present, focusing our attention on the sensations and coming back to it time and time again when the mind wanders. So we're practicing this kind of narrowing or narrow focus of attention. Honing our attention into one spot in the body. So nice and gradually we're going to start to open up our awareness, growing from that center point, starting to take in other sensations in the body. Growing that awareness until you have the whole body in your attention. So just remembering here that we can always narrow the focus of our attention back down at any point. Whether our mind becomes a little unwieldy and we want to steady ourselves, you can always do that. If it feels comfortable, just holding the whole body in your attention, just being aware of all the different sensations. You might notice how your attention moves through the body, or how some sensations become prominent and then disperse. Some sensations might even come and go. And then from here, keeping your body in your attention, but expanding that awareness, becoming aware of the space that your body is in. So the room, what you're sat upon, the ground, the walls, the ceiling, the windows, the light. Having a sense of your body and the space that it's in. And as we expand our awareness, we can start to take in sounds. Gradually opening up that awareness. Sometimes we can imagine that the mind is like a huge open sky. And this awareness, the sky is limitless. Inviting ourselves to rest in the awareness of awareness itself. Noticing and allowing whatever comes into our awareness. Whether it's sounds, sensations, thoughts, feelings. Doing our best not to attach to anything, but simply notice, simply be. Opening ourselves up and allowing. Maybe checking in with the body from time to time, just to check if any tightness or tension is crept in. Just inviting everything to soften, open, allow. wherever your attention is. Let's begin here just noticing sounds. And then becoming aware of your body sitting in the chair, on the cushion. Feeling the feet connecting with the ground. Feeling the seat connecting with the chair. Feeling the breath moving in the body. And then just coming back to your focus point or your anchor point. Resting your attention there. And then all of us coming to the breath. And together we'll notice the breath for a breath in and a breath out. And we'll bring this practice to a close. And just taking your time as we gently shift from the practice. Perhaps bringing some gentle movement into the body. Opening the eyes when you feel ready. Thank you for your practice.